All right, we're live. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Discounts here with Jay Bunk over here as well. This is the Laces Out podcast, week 6. We've done 6 in a row, Bunk. We actually are on pace for doing, 100%. Right now, we're doing good.
Yeah, man, can't complain. I mean, we're getting there, right? We're both.
Hey, we're
We both
here.
got a win finally, right?
We're here. I mean, that's all I gotta say. I mean, right now there's nothing going our way. I mean, for me in the main league that we talk about, the UCFL, both of us, and especially Waterboys, he unfortunately couldn't make it today. Just kind of struggling. Me and you only have one win, and Waterboy's still winless right now. So, but the thing is like my points 4 are still great. I still have like 5. I'm still like 5th or 6th in the league. So, which I feel like it's even worse. I'm like, I know I'm performing decent. I just not getting the wins, man. It's all about matchups.
Yeah, you've had some tough luck, man. I mean, my roster. I mean, I started out 0-2. I had some studs. They just didn't perform those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I kind of panicked a little bit, being 0-2 and traded away a good team, which is unfortunate. But I made some
You
moves.
did, man. You at one point name some of the guys you had all on the team because I'm pretty sure our viewers would be like, "Holy shit, that team right now would be the best in every league that they even have."
Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Mark Andrews. Do I need to hang myself anymore?
Yeah, that's tough, man. I mean, you literally, dude, all those guys are popping off right now. Well, hey, we're still a third. We are only a third away, or we're only a third through the whole season. So we still got 2/3 left. Maybe we can both turn it around. We have to starting now, starting this week, which I think both of us this week are looking good so far. I think both of our opponents' running backs have fallen. So, Nick Chubb's not going to be playing, and I'm going up against Jordan, who has him, and I know CMC's not playing. We just got word, which sucks as a Panther fan for both of us. But since you're playing Pete, it helps you out for sure because he does not have his handcuff. So that's just for those who are out there who are have CMC somehow get Chubbard or Hubbard. Let's call him Chubbard. I like that nickname though. I do like that nickname. But and the same thing with Dalvin Cook. You get Alexander Madison. All those like big time backs that have that key backup. You need to have their handcuff as insurance policy as well.
Yeah, no doubt about that, man. Just with all the injuries, and especially running backs with the hamstrings and all the soft tissue injuries, you can't take a top running back without grabbing his handcuff.
I feel like every running back gets hurt at some point during the season. So always have that backups. You never can have enough running backs, especially this year. Looking at their fantasies, like there's only a top amount that you can get. So, but anyway, let's talk a little bit about Week 5 as of last week. Any players or teams highlight that you want to talk about?
Yeah, just a couple things that jumped out at me, man. Russell Wilson, obviously, unfortunate. He was my quarterback, but unfortunately got hurt.
Was it his middle finger?
Even if he wasn't my quarterback, you hate to see a top player in the league like that go down. So it's looking like he's going to be out for like 5 weeks. I think they're putting him on IR. And then the other thing I wanted to point out was the Chiefs and Bills game. Man, the Bills, man. I mean, they're coming for that top spot in the AFC. Everybody keeps putting the Chiefs and Mahomes at the top, but the
After
Bills
this week, I don't know if you can. I really don't. Like Mahomes, everything it falls on Mahomes. I think he's been getting away with a lot of these passes that he's been doing because obviously he's got the best, tight end in the league. He's got one of the best receivers in the league. He's just got an all-around good team. and he's getting away with a lot of these scrambling passes, and Hill somehow come down with the ball. Same thing with Kelsey, and now it looks like, I don't know, that defense is just not good, and the pressure keeps falling on the Mahomes, and I think some games he's just not going to be able to pull it off. I mean, he's not Superman. I mean, he definitely has some games that he's Superman, but
right.
I don't know if he could keep it up all season, and obviously you see some tough teams come in and put it up on him, and especially the Bills, man, for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's almost like the Buccaneers, in the Super Bowl, kind of laid out the blueprint for beating the Chiefs, and now you see teams beat. I mean, they've got 3 losses already in 5 games, which nobody expected.
Right.
And the Bills didn't just beat them; like they handily beat it. They took it to them.
I think, and that also says with those teams who have beat them, I think all 3 of those teams have took that step up going into the next few games that they play. Like the Ravens, going back to the week 5, I'll talk about that, is Monday. I was down by 50, 70 points or something like that, and I thought I had no chance of coming back against the Bob squad. And I had Marquise Brown and Lamar Jackson, and both of those guys, and the Ravens defense as well, both those guys put up, and I wish I had Andrews. If I had Andrews, I would have won it. But but still, man, miraculous game. Lamar stepped up to the plate when it came down on him, and he delivered.
For sure.
So, right, I mean, what do you think about Lamar from these few games? Obviously he hasn't been hot the whole season, but it looks like he figured it out.
He's looking good, man. I mean, against that Colts team, he was the reason they came back and won. They were getting beat pretty bad, even up into the 4th quarter, I believe. And he just took over, man. Started running the ball, passing it everywhere. Marquise Brown was getting open. Andrews was getting open, and just making smart plays, which I think is his biggest kryptonite. Like, when he's making smart plays, he's one of the best players in the league. Mm-hmm. When he gets kind of fidgety and loose in the pocket and kind of rushes his thinking and decision making, that's when he makes mistakes and throws picks or overthrows or whatever. But when he's utilizing his speed and his legs, and then putting that together with some smart passes, I mean, he's a tough quarterback to beat, and they're going to be a tough team to beat.
I mean, he's their number 1 rusher, and I think everyone knows that. So it's just crazy, seeing him being able to dial it in also in the pocket, which is cool. So seeing that, and then also a guy who I want to highlight too is another man who also had a great performance is Justin Herbert, man. Just goodness, that Chargers team is taking off. Eckler also had a great performance in week 5. I just think that Chargers team is out for blood, man. You saw them. That was another team who did beat the Chiefs, and I think that's another contender for the AFC. So I can't wait to see the Chargers Bills go at it. That's a game that I really want to see in the future, possibly playoffs.
Yeah, the Chargers are legit too, man. Herbert's been looking great. Eckler, Mike Williams has finally figured it out this year. If he stays healthy, I mean, he's a beast. He's like that Calvin Johnson, just big, tall receiver, can separate himself. Plus, he's fast. I mean, he's got a crazy skill set. So he's a difference maker on the outside, and you got reliable Keenan Allen on the inside. That's a nasty team.
I mean, they just have weapons now, and Justin Herbert's finally utilizing them, and looking like a straight top 5 quarterback, and he's just doing it, man. It's just, I'm glad to see him do it though. But let's talk about this week, week 6. We already had Thursday night football last night. The Buccaneers beat the Eagles, but actually not with ease, not like everyone thought it was going to be. Jalen Hurts played pretty well. I mean, any thoughts on that, last night's game?
I mean, the Buccaneers are good. I mean, I think everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Even when they don't play the best, they can still pull out victories, and they got a killer defense. And Tom Brady, I mean, it's almost impossible to bet against him. But
I mean, they just have too many threats where, and that's the thing as a fantasy, player and player owners as fantasy players, getting those guys and not knowing who's gonna pop off that game. You might have you might have Brown or Mike Evans or. Is Fournette gonna pop off? I mean, it's just crazy. Like, I just feel like it's all about game script when it comes to that team. And if you're not right, you could be dropping some single-digit numbers in fantasy football. So, that's kind of scary. And there's a couple other teams like that, but Tampa is really scary about owning those guys. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe Brady would be the safest play out of all those guys because he's at least getting the ball every time he snaps it. But I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous on grabbing those kind of guys. But let's talk about week 6. Any game that you want to highlight for this one? Anyone spark your interest?
Yeah, man. So I think our week 5 recap kind of led me right into week 6, talking about Herbert and Lamar Jackson. We're going to get to see them head-to-head this week as the Chargers face off against the Ravens. So I'm excited to see that, man. 2 of the top teams in the AFC.
2 teams that beat the Chiefs. Boom.
Yeah.
Get to see it.
I'm excited to see that, man. Awesome quarterback matchup. Both have decent defenses. So I'm excited to see that game. I think it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, and there's a couple games that I want to highlight, but for me, because I'm gonna be at that Panther Vikings game, so I'm excited to go Panthers. Sadly, CMC won't be there, but I'll just do a quick brief on that game because I want to talk about the other game that I want highlight as well. But Panthers, they don't have CMC again this week. It's gonna be tough. The Vikings do have a really good pass rush. The thing is, their pass defense sucks. So if somehow Sam Darnold can get a little bit of protection, I think they can go deep on him. I don't see it happening much just because how bad that offensive line looked last week. They don't have any time, or Sam Darnold don't have any time. So I'm going to see a lot of checkdowns. I really think we're going to see a lot of work with, even possibly tight end work for the Panthers. Chuba Hubbard definitely going to be the key player this week for the Panthers. And then obviously DJ Moore, those little quick routes that he does. I think he's been playing phenomenal this whole season for them. So obviously look for them to go to him again. So for that on the Panther side, on the Viking side, if they can get that ground game going, I think Cook is in. So it's going to be tough, man. You saw Zeke kind of run all over the Panthers in the second half. So we'll see if they can maintain Dalvin Cook, and if they do, then it comes down to our new kind of defensive backs who we just got, and see if they can stop Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. We'll see though, man, and obviously don't count out Conklin as well, the tight end for the Vikings. Right. They don't do well against the tight end spot. I mean, maybe on pen and paper right now, but as a fan, every single time I watch the game, it's tight end, little easy dink and dunks that gets them the first down, and I would watch out for him as well. I'm not saying he's a sleeper, just saying if he does score a touchdown, I'm not going to be shocked.
Yeah,
but going back into one more game, and we can both talk about it, Cardinals and Browns. The Browns, we just got told, I think an hour or two ago, Nick Chubb is not going to be playing. So it all comes down to Kareem Hunt, but the thing is he's questionable. So he's still not a must start. So if he falls down to not active, I think this Browns team is going to have to beat them in the air. And the Cardinals defense is solid. They are solid. They do have points scored against them. It's not like they shut teams down. So if Baker can somehow get it in the air, OBJ, we haven't seen him at all. He's been the guy who's been less targets than anybody who you suspect to get him.
right.
in that Browns lineup, obviously. So I don't know, man. What are your thoughts on that Cardinals Browns game?
I'm definitely interested to watch it. I agree with you. If Chubb was healthy, I think it would be a different game.
100%.
I'm assuming they haven't updated the line with considering him being out because it's -3.5 Cleveland. So I'm just assuming they haven't updated that.
Shoot, I bet they
Cardinals
have in
look
the
good,
sports
man.
books.
I mean, sorry. Cardinals look really good. I mean, they're undefeated. They improved their defense in the offseason.
They just picked up Ertz, even though he can't play this week, but they
Yeah,
just picked up Ertz to be the tight end over there. I mean, that team is completely stacked, man. You know, I mean, they're trying to make a run for the Bucs in the NFC.
Yeah, they got a loaded offense now, man, and they're going to be there till the very end with the Rams in that division. I mean, that's going to be a good division race, man.
Here's a question: since we did our Super Bowl picks at the beginning of we did something before week 1 actually. So this isn't even episode 6. This is technically episode 7 because we did one right before the season started, and we picked our Super Bowl picks. Well, I had the Browns and the Packers, and I had the Browns winning. I will say I'm still high on the Browns. This week I'm not because Chubb's not playing. I would say I would pick the Arizona Cardinals to win this game. But what would change with your picks now if in the first third is already done in the season? Who are you picking now for the Super Bowl? Like, does anything change, or are you sticking with what you had? I mean, the Packers don't have Jair anymore because he's hurt. So, I mean, their defense it might be a little shaky. What you think?
Well, first of all, I can't remember who I picked.
We'll both have to go back and watch that.
But I would say I think the Bills would be my favorite out of AFC right now. And then NFC.
NFC, I know you had the Packers, so I do remember that part.
I would have to say Bucs or Rams right now. I think are my two favorites.
And that was another thing is that Rams Cardinals did beat them, but is that one of those games where if they played each other would it go a totally different way? And I think so. I think the Rams, at maybe best of 3, Rams might pull out in 3 games, but I'm not sure. Cardinals are tough, but I will say I'm gonna change my picks as well if that was a thing. I'm still high with my week 1 start picks of Super Bowl. Now, I think you have to go Bills for AFC, man. They look so good. Their defense is solid. They haven't let any offense really tear them up. Even the Chiefs, a high-powered offense, to do that. I mean, what else can you ask for? Obviously, and also Josh Allen slinging the ball. So I'm gonna have to go Bills for AFC. NFC. I think it's between Rams and Cardinals, man. And that's a toss-up. But like I said, I think the Rams would win that best of 3 series. It's just so hard to count out Stafford with that new weapons that he's got, man. And Darrell Henderson looks great. They're beginning of this, halfway. I think their season they have an easy schedule. It's not like they're gonna be banged up. So I don't know. I think the Rams would be NFC, Bills would be AFC. I'm with you, man. I mean, they're both phenomenal teams. But if someone said Cardinals, I'm with you on that. Someone said Packers even also on the NFC. I'm not counting them out too. Aaron, remember the Cinderella story we talked about at the beginning of the season. It's still out there. But anyway, you want to start talking about the boom or busts?
Yeah, man.
This is your favorite part of the show.
No.
No, why not?
Because I've yet to pick one correctly.
That is true. Let me show you guys the record popping up on the screen right now. As our boom bust record, discounts at 3-7, which isn't good. I'm not proud of that. I don't think anyone should be proud of these boom and bust records. But I will say, try it at home. Don't cheat. And tell me how well you guys do, because The way we do it is we're picking these guys. If it's a boom, we need them 5 points above their projection. If it's a bust, they just anything under the projection. So that's how we're playing it. And there's a boom and bust record right now. The 3-7, J Bunk at the 0-10, Waterboys can't be with us, who's 2-6, and Hexorcist, who also just he was one of our guest speakers earlier this season, and he's keeping up with the Waterboys, 2-6. But we'll get that terrible records off the screen real quick. And who is your boom in week 6? Who are we avoiding right now? Anything you say, I think we go reverse.
Jeez. I think I'm coming through with a victory this week.
All right.
I'm rolling out Deontay Johnson booming for the Steelers against the Seahawks. Terrible secondary. And the Steelers like to sling the ball around. Juju's out for the season. So it's Deontay and Claypool. And I wouldn't be surprised if both of them boom this week, honestly. But Deontay Johnson's my boom. Yeah, I think he's going to be Ben's number one target. I mean, he has been already, but he's going to get even more targets with Juju being out now. So I feel confident about it. I think I get on the board this week.
Well, the thing is, I mean, Deontay, when he plays, he's putting up points. I mean, it's not. I mean, he's seriously. I mean, I've had him. I traded him to you. Actually, this week. Yeah, no problem. If he booms, I'm gonna hate myself. But the funny thing is, the one that I got in return, I also have as my boom. So it works out. As long as one of us boom, someone's gonna be the other person's gonna be pissed. Yeah. Someone's gonna be regretting it somehow after this week. But yeah, I mean, Deontay, I can see it, man. He's been, every time he plays, been really efficient. Even though when he doesn't get like the amount of targets, he still gets the points. It doesn't matter. He's really efficient as a receiver, and without Juju, definitely going to get more high volume. So yeah, I like that boom as well. My boom is Stephon Diggs. So the part we had in that trade was Stephon Diggs and Deontay. Not straight up. We had some extra guys, but his projection is 14.4, and I just think Diggs, it's about time. I mean, it's now or never. I mean, they're playing against the worst secondary right now in the league of giving up points to the receivers, and that's Tennessee Titans. And right now, Diggs just hasn't seen the love from Josh Allen, and which is weird because it's like, where has that been? Last season we saw it, and I just think it's a bounce back. I think it was in the smoke. Diggs is here. Let's see it. And yeah, so I mean, I think he's going to pop off against the atrocious secondary Tennessee Titans. If he doesn't do it here, he's a bust from now on out. So that is what it is. But I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna say my bust, and I'll rotate back to you because we're gonna keep it in the same team. That's the Buffalo Bills. For my bust, Dawson Knox, man. What I mean, this is a tight end. He's been getting a lot of love, but it's from blown coverage. So I guess Tennessee could do this because they're, like I said, secondary is terrible. I do think Knox has touchdown opportunities, but they got him at 9.2 out of projection. I'm sorry, that's not Dawson Knox, and I think we're gonna see just the normal stuff we've seen from him in the past seasons. He's always been that guy where he has a couple decent games, and I think it's over now. I think he's gonna do what he usually does and catch a few passes, but he's really touchdown dependent, though. He has to score a touchdown for him to be breaking these numbers, and I don't see it happening this week. But what about you, man? Bust for Bunk.
I'm staying in the same game, but I'm going on the Tennessee side, and I'm going to say Julio Jones.
I like that.
Titans going up against a tough Bills defense. A.J. Brown just came back from injury last week. I think they're going to make it more of a point to get him involved in the offense this week.
Yep.
and then basically him and Derrick Henry is your offense. So I just don't see enough targets for Julio to be relevant. Plus, going up against a tough defense, I just don't see it. So
I hope, that's where it gets me. Like, that's where I can see it happening. Julio, I think, is going to help AJ Brown possibly boom. If like you said, this defense is just phenomenal. If it happens, if anyone's going to boom on that team for Tennessee, obviously, Derrick Henry, but AJ Brown would be the second one in line. Before Julio. Julio's also coming back. I mean, he just getting back. When you saw him on the field, really nothing there yet.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen anything from Julio yet. I hope you're wrong. I really am. I got him in a league, so I've just been kind of stashing him in my bench. And I'm just waiting for him to pop off, but right now it's just not looking good. But I guess we'll share Kendall's boomer bust. Kendall, aka Hexorcist, who came on. Also, remember he also is in this boomer bust thing that we've been doing. And this week he wants to choose as his boom McKissick at 6.8, which I could see that happening. I mean, it's McKissick and it's 6.8, so touchdown, he gets it, right? And bust Tyler Lockett at 13.6, and that's another thing I can see happening without Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson and Lockett's got that chemistry, and you saw what Geno does. Geno's going to be starting. He's been targeting DK. He's been definitely favoriting DK over Lockett when he was on the field, so I just see that happening again. But Lockett is that kind of person to sneak away, get over the top, and catch a wide open touchdown. But will Geno be the guy to throw it to him? I don't know. I really think that's a safe bust play. So good pick, Kendall. Anything else you want to touch up on? Any players or anything you want to touch up on? Week 6.
Let's see. I'm just taking a look at my notes.
I mean, a lot of things that happen. Clyde Edwards is done for a while, and so Darrell Williams, I think, is going to be a great play. I think he's going to be the guy there, and even seeing him with Clyde Edwards, he looked good. Like, just on those very few plays that he was in rotation, he looked good for the Chiefs. So if he gets this opportunity and wants to be the lead back, I could see him having another possible boom as well.
I agree.
Be the double boom.
One thing I do want to see, going back to your game of the Panthers and Vikings, is Sam Darnold. With New York, he was used to losing, right? I mean, they were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Here at Carolina, started out 3-0, and have since suffered two tough losses, right? And I mean, truth be told, last week he just played like garbage. I mean, he threw 3 picks, which is not on his game at all. So I want to see how he bounces back, man. Vikings don't have a good defense. CMC's not back, so they're gonna have to adjust their offense without him. So I just want to see how Sam Darnold leads the offense and bounces back after a tough game like that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it comes down to how much time can he get. When he doesn't get enough time, we see him force the ball and make mistakes, and that's when the interceptions come. So I think it comes down to Sam and the offensive line too. I mean, like I said earlier, the Vikings do have that pass rush that apparently they get to the quarterback faster than a lot of the other teams, which scares the hell out of me with our offensive line. So I really hope I don't see that when I'm in Bank of America Stadium watching that. I really hope, we can just give them a little bit more time. And like I said, we're possibly going to see a lot of, dink and dunk straight to DJ Moore, Chuba Hubbard, and our tight ends. We also got to see Trimble get a touchdown last week, which was nice.
Yeah, I like him, man. I think we need to get him more involved. I mean, from what I remember, that was either his only target or he had like 2 or 3. Like, it wasn't a lot.
He didn't get much.
So I like to see
Ian
him
split.
get more involved.
Him and Ian Thomas split on targets. So They're still including Ian Thomas in the passing game.
Yeah.
I'm surprised on that. I really think Trimble's that kind of guy. He's fast. He's got the body for it. He's kind of like, he reminds me of the Dawson Knox for Buffalo Bills.
Right.
He's that fast guy. Same thing with someone like Darren Waller. He's got that build as a great tight end, and he can run routes. So I don't know. I would like to see him on the field. Maybe that touchdown did help him out, and maybe they'll keep giving him opportunities. I hope so.
I would agree.
Hey man, I like your hat though. Braves are in the Final Four.
Yes, sir.
And I think they have a shot, big time. It sucks that we're without Acuna though.
FLA. That's my 3 letters for the next couple weeks.
FLA. All right, man. We done here?
I think so.
All right, man. Well, that's it for week 6 of the Laces Up podcast. We will see you guys in week 7, possibly with Waterboy making a return. Maybe I want to get him on screen too. Week 7, Waterboy. I know you're watching this. Webcam.
Get you a camera.
Order it Amazon right now. It'll be there before next Friday. We'll see you guys later. Good luck in your fantasy football games, unless you're Jordania, which he's already kind of getting screwed over.
Or Pete Diddy. You're going to find him in a graveyard somewhere.
We'll see you guys later, man. Peace out.